All right. And with that, we are live. Howdy, howdy, Team Zoot 2023. We are, it's a little chilly in my garage tonight. We are ready to go for some workout creation tonight. Wait a few minutes to get some people coming in to the live stream. So if you are watching this as a VOD, and I currently am working on putting my poor watch on the charger. There you go. If you are watching this as a VOD, just always remember that you are more than welcome to leave comments on these videos. You are more than welcome to email me right here, feralswimtech@gmail.com. And make sure to follow the brand new Instagram, feralswimtech at Instagram. So I'm trying to make this a little more officially official. Trying to kind of make this more of a brand. So if you are wanting to help the brand, please go follow the Instagram. I try and do posts. You'll kind of see the Zoot banner I got behind me. I try and do little 1-minute tidbits every week, just to help you, get faster with swimming bit by bit, piece by piece. Tonight, we are going to do a fair amount with workout creation. I've kind of come to a realization over the past little bit that people struggle with making workouts, and a lot of people, it's more of like they don't really understand how to create workouts, and I understand too. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing on the bike. I don't know what I'm doing on the run. So in terms of me making workouts, I'm kind of like, okay, well, in theory, this could work. So I'm trying different stuffs out. I'm on Lionel Sanders' Discord. I ask a lot of the more seasoned bikers and runners over there. So I figured, you know what, it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to share just kind of ideas on how to generate workouts and make them work better for you. So with that, we're going to get started here. Once again, this is Feral Swim Tech. My name is John Farrell. For those of you that are new, just understand this is a live show. This is an interactive show. Either you are watching live or watching the VOD. Leave comments, chat with me. I do live stream as a hobby, so I'm totally used to looking at chat and, being able to incorporate your questions and stuff into the live stream. So if you get any questions whatsoever, throw it out in chat. Typically at the end of the broadcast, I usually do a lightning round. So if there's any question that you want to ask, doesn't matter what about swimming, I'll answer it. Okay, so the theme for tonight is going to be workout generation. We're going to talk about how to create workouts, how to fit within a budget time, and kind of some ideas of how to, generate effective workouts within your time constraints. And then if we have time later, I'm going to review the Magic 5 goggles. They're a partner of the stream. No, they did not send them to me for free, but hey, guys, call me. So let's get started with workout generations. A huge problem I see with people is they say, oh, well, I want to do 1,000. And I'm going to go swim 1,000. Okay, that's not really doing much for you. The number one thing you want to move away from is just saying, oh, I'm just going to swim 1,000. Or, you know what, I got 30 minutes. I'm going to swim for 30 minutes. Okay. Sometimes you just happen upon pool time. You don't have a lot of prep. You got to swim when you got to swim. I understand that. Swimming is the one that has the most schedule demanding of facilities. I mean, you can go outside and run, and you can put your bike in the garage. Very few people have access to swim spas where you could just walk in the backyard, hop in your swim spa, and just turn the water treadmill on and just go. We have to go to pools. We have to, coordinate our schedule with the pool schedule. So number one, if you got to get in a workout, you got to get in a workout. Now, good, better, best. We want to create good workouts, okay? So the idea is we are going to use Microsoft Excel. This is going to be a very nerdy stream, and I do not apologize for this. So we're going to use Microsoft Excel in order to kind of go through and create some very easy to create sample workouts. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to first go time, and then we're going to go 2 hours, and then we're going to do equals that times 60 for minutes. Okay? Okay? All right. So we want to set up this sample workout. You know what? We're going to need to zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. And why did that go all the way down there? That's weird. We don't want it to do that. We want it to be up there. Okay. So we now have our sample workout. We got time. So we got 2 hours. So that equals 120 minutes. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to basically map out what we're doing and then fill in the distances and then fill in the time standards. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is warm up. All right. And then after that, we're going to want to probably do some kick. Okay. Do some kick to finish off the warm up. Do like a legitimate kick set. And then we're going to want to do a drill set, main set, pull set, and then warm down. Okay. All right. So this is the what. And then we do how long. So how long do we want to swim? Okay. Sum. So we're going to have our running total down here. Okay. All right. So for warm up, you usually do 500 yards and then 200 yards for a warm down. That's usually my standards. Usually for warm up, I like to do 2-1-2. So then that's 200 freestyle, or 200 swim, 100 kick, 100 pull. No, 200 pull, 200 swim, 200 swim, 100 kick, 200 pull. That's what I like to do for warm up. Pretty easy to do that. All right. So then kick. So then for what I'm really going to be, when I say kick, we're mainly doing kick drills. Okay. These are like kick drills. All right. So for kick drills, probably we'll go like 200 yards of kick drills. Okay. Not too much. Something just to really kind of hone in on a certain kick technique. Okay. Then for drills, you're going to do about another 200 yards. All right. So you want to do about another 200 yards for kick drills, of actual drills. And you know what? Let's go 150 and 150. All right. We'll knock those down to 50. So within those 150, we're going to talk about the drills. All right. So then our main set, let's have 1,000 main set. And then to finish everything off, we're going to do a 400 pull. All right. With swim workouts, you're going to want to go more heavy arm focused. The reason why is because we pound our legs on the bike and the run. We don't really want to go too heavy on all this kind of stuff. All right. So then distance and how many. Okay. So we're going to have total distance, and then how many. Okay. So like I said, this is a very simple workout generator. Okay. This can become a lot more complicated. Then you can involve pyramids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, stuff like that. All right. So now we're going to do distance and how many. So we're going to go 2-1-2. All right. So then ups. So, okay, here's a tip, Excel tip. If you have a lot of people do this and then the auto format kicks you over into stupid stuffs. So if you have a problem here, you go to format cells, go to text, hit OK. So then that's just going to go, then that's just going to do whatever text you input. Don't worry about it. Okay. So we're going to go 2-1-2 and we're only going to do that one time. All right. So then kick. So why don't we do 50s? And then we're going to go 3 50s. And then same thing with drill. We're gonna do 25 of drill, and we're gonna go that 6 times. Okay. So then our main set for 1,000, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go 100s, and we're gonna do 10 of them for 1,000. So then for pulls, what? Oh. Okay, that was my watch. Sorry. So for pulling, we are going to go. Yeah, let's do hundreds. We'll make this easy tonight. We're going to go 4, and then we're going to go 200, and then 1. Okay? All right. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to go time standards. Okay? So 212, yeah, that's going to do, for me personally, that would probably take about 10 minutes. We'll just say about 10 minutes. For that. So then with kick, we're going to go 3 50s of kick drill. So 50s for me would probably be about the 1 minute. Okay. So we're going to go that on the 1 minute. So then 625s, I'm going to go 625s drill on the 45 seconds. So 0.75 minutes. So then main set are 10 100s. Personally, I would probably do, if I'm going to do 10 100s, we'll talk about the focus after this. But personally, I'm going to go on the 115, 1.25. So 1.25 minutes, 1.25 minutes. Then pulls 4 100s. I'm going to do those on the 130s, so 1.5, and then warm down, that's maybe 5 minutes, okay? So then what we're going to do is we are going to go total time. Now, this is an important part for you to budget your time accordingly, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do equals the time times how many. Okay? And then if you grab this little guy and you drag it down, so that shows you how much time and how many for everything that you have done. So warm-up's going to take 10 minutes. Your kick drills are going to take about 3 minutes. And then 4.5, 12.5 for the main set. 10 100s on the 125. Yeah. No, that's about right. Yeah, 12.5 minutes for 1,000. Yeah, that's right. So then we're going to go 6 minutes for pull, then 5 minutes for warm down, okay? So then now what we're going to do is, like I said, there is going to be math on this one. But thankfully, you get computer programs that do this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the 120 and we're going to minus that. What the? Why did that not do it? All right. That minus. That thing did not do the right thing. What? Hold on. Okay, we're going to move that back to general. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's try. This is. I feel very dumb right now. There we go. Okay, so now, if you do this workout with 2 hours, you have 79 minutes left over. So now if you only have 1 hour, you got 20 minutes left. Okay, so you kind of see where we're going here. So typically between sets, you probably want to budget about 2 to 3 minutes per set. Okay, in between each set. So what this does is this now allows you to set up a very easy. Let's make this fancy. Let's put a border, and let's make it blue because I like blue. All right. So minutes left, and then we're going to move that there. Okay. So when you set up an Excel sheet like this, that way, when you set it up an Excel sheet like this, You're now able to visualize exactly what you're going to be doing for your workout. And you can now budget your time. Now, first thing that we need to do is we need to understand one very critical thing. Time. Okay? Time is going to be the most critical. All right? Time. So what this time is, out. That hurts my eyes. Let's make it green. So what this time is how fast are you going each item, okay? So for the warm-up, I'm budgeting about 10 minutes per warm-up. For the kicks, I'm doing 50s on the 1 minute, okay? Let's add some decimals here, okay? So we're going 50s on the minute, 25s on the 45 seconds, all right? So what this does is this is shifting your focus from saying, oh, I'm going to go, 650s of kick and I'm just going to rest 10 seconds. Okay, well, here's the problem with that. If you're saying, oh, I'm just going to rest 10 seconds, how fast are you going per 50? How fast are you going per 25? How do you keep yourself accountable for saying, I want to hit these goals, so in order to hit these goals, I have to go these times during practice. If you tell yourself, I'm just gonna rest for 10 seconds, are you going 130s? Are you going to go 140 on 100? Are you going to go a 145 on 100? What are you going to go on 100? Now, if you take hundreds, so let's say I wanted to do 10 100s on the 115, and I'm going, and we'll talk, and we're gonna have a quick discussion about what to focus on next. Some ideas of what to focus on during these specific elements of your workout. So if I want to do a 10 100s on the 115, well, what I'm saying is, okay, if they're on the 115, I want to hold 105 per 100. That's what I would hold. If I'm trying to go 10 100s hard, I'm going to try and hold somewhere between the minute to 105. Now that adds in, I want 10 seconds rest after each one. Now, I could easily go on the 110 and I'd only be getting 5 seconds per one. Okay, but then that also adds a little bit of a fudge factor just in case if I start breaking down. I start breaking down 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, If that's the spread of what I'm doing, I'm still under the 110. I'm still hitting what I want. It's not exactly what I want, but I'm still within the ballpark. So for other people, let's say you want to be under a 145, okay? If you want to be under a 145, you need to set your time standard at a 155, okay? Or maybe a 2 minutes. If you're swimming hundreds on the 2 minute, you should be holding a 145. You shouldn't be holding nearer 2 minutes, okay? So this is kind of the ideas of how do you get faster at swimming? Well, you have to learn how to train holding harder time standards. We can't just say, oh, we're just going to go at X amount of pace and be done with that. All right? So this is a general idea of how to create a very simple workout. This workout up here is 2,400 yards. So and then if you do this workout and you have an hour, you got 19 minutes to kind of play around with. So you need to kind of figure out, okay, well, if I have 19 minutes, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, 6, 12, 18. I got about 3 minutes in between each thing, and I'll be okay. And I'll still be able to fit within my hour time limit, okay? So this is a really powerful way, especially if you create your own workouts. If you create your own workouts, this is a really great way to budget your time and really maximize what you're doing in the pool. So now, to kind of finish this off, we're going to do a focus line, okay? So right now, with warm-up, there's no focus, okay? So for the kick drills, why don't we say focus on straight leg kick, okay? Focus on straight leg kick. So don't bend the knees. Keep those legs nice and long and kick, kick, kick. By the way, if there is anyone in chat that has any questions about this whatsoever, do not hesitate to just toss something in the chat. Hold on, I need a drink. 1 second, too. So, all right. So, straight leg kick. All right. So then we got 625s of drill. What do we want to focus on? Well, for me personally, what I would really, really focus on is a long reach and long extension distance per stroke. Distance per stroke drills. Okay. One that I like is you take a stroke and then you stretch and then you stretch, take another stroke, stretch, take another stroke, stretch. Okay. So you stretch into it before you take a stroke. That's a good distance per stroke drill. It forces you to have full extension on your arm up and down before you take a pull. All right. So main set. All right. So we got 10 100s. So a good idea would be to descend 1 through 5, 6 through 10. Okay. Descend 1 through 5, 6 through 10. So what happens is you go, so let's say I'm swimming this and I'm doing these on the 115. Okay. I'm doing these on the 115. What would I personally hold? Well, what I would try and do is I would try and start at about the 105, and then I would work my way down to where the final 100 is a sub-minute. Okay? So I would try and go about maybe 58, 59 for the final 100 of the 1 through 5. And then back at 6, I would slow down and I would be back at about a 105 pace. And then I would start going back down to a sub-minute for the final 100. So for me, that's what I would do. So you can adjust accordingly, descend 1 through 5, then 6 through 10. And then, so pull. So for the pull, what I would focus on is maintaining correct depth of pull. Okay. So what this idea is we don't want our pull to get sloppy just because it's at the end of the workout and we're tired. You know, we did all those descends and we definitely have some fatigue setting in. So maybe we don't want to do that. You know, maybe we don't really want to focus on anything huge. We just want to get some more yards on our upper body. We want our arms to keep working just a little bit longer. So what you want to do is you want to maintain the correct depth of pull. Now, if you've been watching my Instagram, Feral Swim Tech on Instagram, I just did a swim tip about how to figure out exactly how to pull in the correct depth. So what you do is you flex your bicep and your tricep. And when you do that, as you pull, what that does is that helps you get down to the correct depth. So doing something like that and really honing in on that during those 4 100s is really going to help you out. And then warm down, no real focus on warm down. So, okay. So right here, this is a very, very, very basic spreadsheet of what you can do in order to create a simple workout and make it budgeted within your time. And, from here you can say, okay, well, maybe if I had 2 hours, maybe I can do 2,000 for the main set. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm a dork. I totally screwed up. This column. I am so sorry. Hold on. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's got to be 2100s. 25 minutes. There we go. Okay. So 2100s, if you get 2 hours, you still have a whole hour to play with. So there's a lot of flexibility that you can have with this. I'm sorry, it's late, and yeah. So this is a basic Excel sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, and if you would like to have this Excel spreadsheet to use as a template, I'm more than happy to send it to you. Shoot me an email, Farrell Swimtech at, farrellswimtech at gmail.com. So that is basically how to generate a workout. Now, there's a lot of different places that you can go for workouts. If you're working with a coach or, a swim coach or triathlon coach, you basically just do their workouts. I mean, personally, I do not make my own workouts. I go to my local high school where the club swims. I swim with kids literally half my age, and I still beat the crap out of all of them. Okay, maybe 2 of them can hack it with me. Most everyone else, I just leave them in the dust. So I just do whatever workout they do. That's what I do personally. But generating your own workouts, you can work within your own time constraints, really will help you out. Okay, so looking at the time here, we're at about 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Let's talk goggles. Let's talk goggles to finish everything up tonight. So let's talk about the Magic 5. Magic 5 was brought on by Zoot last year as a partner. They had a very, very, very nice discount when they came on as a partner. So I will openly admit one of my biggest concerns, I guess you would say it is an issue. One of my biggest issues with the Magic 5 is the price. $70 retail for their mirrored goggles, $60 for non-mirrored goggles. That's pretty pricey. I'm not going to lie. My goggles that I use, they're $12. They're cheap. I will openly explain my goggle bias, all right? I am a Swedes guy. I have always been a Swedes guy. I will always be a Swedes guy. I use Tier Socket Rocket 2.0s. I found out about them about 10 years ago, and they have absolutely been my goggle of choice ever since. I wore straight Swedes my entire competition career, pretty much from when I was 13 all the way until I graduated from college at 26. So I spent over a decade racing every major race I've ever done in Swedes. I never was a fan of gasketed goggles. I just felt like they would kind of get off kilter and screw up my vision, and I get dizzy from it. So with the Swede goggles, full customizability, I love them to death. I have to openly state this bias before I talk about these goggles, okay? Because I want to do tech reviews. I want to do product reviews. I want to do these things. But at the same time, I don't want to be a shill. I don't want to be a guy that says, "Oh, well, these guys send me something free. I'm going to say nice things about them." I call balls and strikes. If you got a good product, I will give you a good review based on the goodness of your product. So let's talk about the good with Magic 5. So here is my pair of Magic 5 goggles. First thing you're going to notice is I have a bungee strap on these. No, they do not come with bungee straps. That is another thing that I will live and die by bungee straps. The only goggles that I do not have bungee straps on are my Roka racing goggles, just because the bungee straps are kind of weird with the way those goggles are manufactured. The silicone straps are fine. I mean, I literally only wear them for open water swimming and open water competitions. If I'm in a pool in a competition, I'm wearing the Socket Rocket 2.0s. They're my goggle of choice. They don't fall off my face. I'm totally fine. Now, Magic 5, these are different goggles. These are very different goggles, mainly because of how you actually order them. So let me kind of explain the ordering process, because that's kind of one of the very different things about these goggles. So when you order these goggles, their big thing is they say that these goggles are the most customized, are the biggest handmade goggles that are made exactly for your face. Okay, so let's go to the website real quick, and let's go over what they claim these goggles do. And while I am bringing this up, oh, by the way, if you were wondering, in order to go a world record time in the mile, you have to be splitting 51 second 100 freestyles. That's what I've calculated. In order to go a 14:06 mile. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Magic 5 goggles. Okay, so let's talk. So what I like to do is I like to see what the goggles actually claim. What do they claim these things do? So they say on here how it works. They say you are guaranteed a perfect fit. They use a face scan technology in order to get the goggles directly on your face. They say zero water leakage, technology that ensures a gasket with no chance of leakages or suction marks. Zero leakage, zero marks, zero distractions. Let's see here. Okay, so basically what they're saying is these goggles are leak-proof, and that is because of their perfect fit technology. So let me describe how. Yeah, I'll keep these on. These are pretty comfy. Gotta loosen up just a little bit. So basically what happens is you order your goggles from the website. Like, you cannot buy these in a store. These are website order only. All right. So you go to the website, you pick out what goggles you want, and then you get the app on your phone. And then what you do is you take the phone, it turns on your camera, and then you just kind of wave it back and forth. You just kind of go up and down and all around. For me personally, it took about 20-ish minutes to really get it right and get it to work. Because when you download the app, you sync your purchase onto the app, and then you scan your face, and then you send it to them, and then that saves your digital file, your digital scan, into your order. So then after that, they custom make your goggles, and then they send it to you. So the process overall took about 2-ish weeks. So one thing I really like is they come in this very nice case. So yes, and also these are tier bungee straps. If you would like a link for Amazon for these, please send me an email. I'll send you an affiliate link so I can get a couple pennies from your purchase. Something also to understand is underneath here, Mark showed this off when he was talking about Magic 5. There are extra nose bridges underneath the nice foam area here. So number one thing I love about these, I love the goggle case. I would like to see maybe they knock off $10-15 if you order extra goggles, because you don't need the goggle case. That would be fantastic. Because like I said before, $70 for these puppies, that's a pretty steep price for a pair of goggles. Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I use these for about month and a half, before it got too dark. With these lenses, mirrored lenses, I can't swim in Southern California outdoors at night. I just can't see. I have, clear goggles, set up for, wintertime. So yeah. So are they comfortable? Yeah. Oh yeah. No, these are comfy goggles. These are definitely a different fit than other goggles that I've had. Personally, I usually have my straps right about here. So they kind of go around here, around my face. My problem with this is that it kind of pulls the goggles downward. So in order for me to be comfortable, I have to move my bottom strap up, just over the, I have a little bump in my head right back here. So I got to move them just about over the bump. And then if I have them here, they work just fine. As opposed to my socket rockets, I can have it down. I can have one strap underneath the bump, one above the bump, and I'm comfy. So it's definitely a different fit, which, is neither really bad or good. It's just something different. The comfort, I'm pretty comfortable wearing these all workout. I can openly admit that I can wear these with less tension than I do other goggles. Just because if I wear these with less tension, then definitely their claim that there's no goggle marks, that's a legit claim. That there's no goggle marks with these things, which is nice. However, that being said, I have my Socket Rocket 2.0 set up to where I only get goggle marks if I'm swimming a 2-hour workout. If I'm swimming a 2-hour workout and the main set is literally like an hour long, then it's going to start hurting after that. But with my other goggles, I can pop them out here and then pop them back over my eyes, and then I'm good to go. So in terms of, are these the only goggles where you do not get goggle marks with? No. However, these ones do not give you goggle marks. So, that's a plus. That actually works. No leaking. It takes a bit to fiddle around with them to get them to be zero leaking, okay? So, number one thing you have to understand, and I've actually seen someone review this and say, oh, well, it did it. It leaked right out of the box when I put it on my face. Oh, okay, no. Every pair of goggles you will own, you need to fine-tune the fit, okay? You got to adjust the goggles. You got to, make sure you get the right nose bridge. I actually played with 2 different nose bridges on this thing. So it took about 2 workouts to really dial in this fit. But after you dial in the fit, there's really no issues. Couple other things I like about this. I like the low profile. So these are a nice low profiles right over the eyes. The only thing is down here, you can kind of see there's a concave downward on the lenses. That's different. I'm used to a nice flat lens on the front and then just an oval on the sides. So getting used to the concave on the bottom, it took a couple workouts, but I don't really have an issue with it. Like I said, it's a difference between what I'm used to and these goggles. So overall, I like them. I like these goggles. I can't really say a lot of bad things about these goggles. They fit well. And by the way, I don't know, I scoured the website before I went on tonight. And what I wanted to check and see was exactly what with these goggles was 100% custom made. So I did some digging and I couldn't find anything. So what I want to do is, this is my guess. What I believe they do is they custom create the gaskets. Okay. So basic goggle anatomy, you have straps, you have nose bridge, you have lenses, and then you have gaskets. Okay. Gasket is the part of the goggles that goes between the lens and your eyes. Okay. So here, let me get a nice close up. Yeah, there's a little bit of goggle mark up there, but I was also screwing around with them a lot. So yeah. Also, I haven't worn these goggles in months now, so I'd have to get them back in the water and really dial in the fit. So what do I believe is customized? I believe that the gaskets are customized, and that is just really easy to do. So they 3D print the gasket, and then they attach it to the lens itself. Then that is what creates your 100% customizable goggles. There may be that they have a couple different size lenses. So they take your facial scan, they check the lens size. Maybe they have a small, medium, large lens. That's a guess. I don't think so. But that could be a guess as to exactly how they customize your goggles per person. But definitely they 3D print the gasket. So like I said, overall, they're fine. They're good. They're a good set of goggles. Now, do you need to have these goggles to be a fast swimmer? No, you don't need these goggles to be a fast swimmer. These are luxury goggles. That's what these are. If you really want a nice, fancy set of goggles, this is going to be it. If you're running on a budget like I am, this isn't really going to be worth the investment. And the main reason is because they last as long as a standard pair of goggles, about 5 to 6 months. So think about it this way. Now, like I said, Magic 5, I got no problems with your goggles. I like your goggles. I can't afford your goggles personally. But if really money isn't that big of an issue to you, this is your one major hobby and you really want good stuff, buy the Magic 5 goggles. You will be very happy with the goggles. They will fit very well. You can save your facial scan. They save your facial scan on file. So then you can just go say, hey, you know what? I want you to send me, I think they even have... Do they even have, hold on, let me see here. Shop the goggles. I think they have like a recurring buyers program where you save a little bit. Well, they got a multiple goggle discount to where you can buy multiple sets of goggles. Yeah, there's bundles. So you can save with some bundles. I think that's probably going to be the cheapest way to buy the goggles. If you buy bundles, you get 15% off. So then what you wind up doing is you buy 2 pairs of goggles, and that'll last you the whole year. So the big difference is their bundle is either 110 or 102, depending on if you get the mirrored or the non-mirrored goggles. So you would save one set of goggles for the summer, one set of goggles for the winter. So that's what you would do with that. Now, for me, I buy $12 pairs of goggles. $12 for clear, $16 for mirrored. So I got $20 to spend a year on goggles. I don't have $100 to spend a year on goggles. So, like I said before, Magic 5, good goggles, great goggles. They're luxury goggles. You don't need these goggles to be a fast swimmer. The number one thing you need to understand about swimming is truly, 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 how good you are as a swimmer is not dependent on what gear that you have in terms of goggles or a swim cap. Fancy suits, fancy wetsuits, you can make a case for that. However, for the majority of the people, a mid-tier wetsuit is going to be way more tech than you really need. The $1,000 wetsuit isn't going to really help the guy that's going to 145 per 100. It's not really going to help you, as opposed to saving $300, $400, $500 and just getting a mid-range wetsuit. So with regards to swim goggles especially, if you got the cash to splash, hey, look, go buy Form goggles, go buy Magic 5 goggles. However, if you really want budget goggles, you can be okay with that. You can get by with budget goggles. Now, personally, there are budget goggles, and then there's garbage tier goggles. So basically, to round out tonight, let me give you my final thoughts on Magic 5. I like your goggles. I do. If you want to sponsor me, call me. I will gladly wear your goggles. I will gladly say your goggles are great. However, I cannot lie. My Socket Rocket 2.0s are just as comfortable to me as these goggles. I'm sorry. And with Team Zoot, you do get a good discount code with them. Unfortunately, the discount code still doesn't put it in a good budget range for me to be a yearly purchase. So yeah. However, Magic 5, good goggles. If you want to order a set of your own, contact your team captain. They will get you the coupon code for the Magic 5 goggles. I think Team Zoot offers 20% discount. I want to say it's 20 to 25. When they came on, it was a 40% discount. It actually may be as high as 30. I don't know off the top of my head. But contact your team captain for the coupon code. And if you really want to give them a shot, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to tell you you're making a bad investment. I'm just saying it's an expensive investment. So yeah. So that's pretty much all I got tonight. There definitely will be a whole episode on gear. We'll talk about fins, kickboards, all that stuff. So to round out tonight's broadcast, basically what I want to do is kind of discuss where I'm going with Feral Swim Tech, and specifically these live streams. I have 3 children. Bedtime sucks. So I really want to try and get out here once a week. Typically it would be either Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I don't know what night. So if I can figure out what night, I will definitely try and make a Facebook post on the Team Zoot Facebook page, just in case if it's a topic that really interests you, if you really want to get on and come say hi, ask your questions about swimming, shoot me emails about swimming, and let me talk about, let me just finish off tonight with my major service for the team. Remember, I'm not an employee of Zoot. They do not pay me to do these. I will openly admit they do give me freebies every once in a while because I do this. Like, for instance, they sent me a pair of their pro level, or what is it called? Their new floaty pants. They sent me the men's their ultra buoyancy short. They sent me a pair of ultra buoyancy shorts to review. I'm going to be in the water tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to rock those bad boy floaty pants in the water tomorrow. So probably next week we will do a review of the floaty pants, and then we'll probably talk. We'll talk about body positioning next week, and I will do a review of the buoyancy shorts. I like calling them floaty pants. It's just funny. So they do send me free stuff to do because I do these. I've been doing these streams for about 2 years now. I've really enjoyed doing it. I started doing this stream with just the Southern California group. And after COVID hit, people were opening up. I floated the idea of doing this, and Mark is totally fantastic. Let me do this. I love doing live streaming. I've been live streaming for Twitch since 2016. No, I don't make the Twitch bucks, but I have a lot of fun doing it. So my main service for Team Zoot is online stroke technique reviews. Basically what happens is you film yourself swimming, you send me the footage, and I will review the footage for you free of charge. It is a pay what you want kind of a thing. So if you can donate to help fund me and my triathlon endeavors, that's great. That's fantastic. I mean, if you can pitch me $5 to buy my girls a milkshake, that would also be fantastic. This is a labor of love. I do this so, I can help get a little bit of pocket change and really help you get faster at swimming. I was an All-American back in high school. I swam for Brigham Young University for 4 years. Swimming truly has made me the person I am today, and I am ever grateful for the sport. Gosh dang it, I'm tearing up. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I talk about my swimming history, just because it really took me from a kid that had zero self-esteem to being the athlete of the year of my high school. It took me from a kid that had no friends to a kid that had tons of friends. Swimming did everything for me, and anything I can do to give back to this sport, that's what I'm doing. So if you want me to review your stroke, I've been a stroke technique coach for over 12 years now. I've been helping age group swimmers, young swimmers, high school swimmers. In February, I'm going to start volunteering on Fridays at my local high school. Going to do pure stroke technique with those guys. They got to break my record sometime, dang it. I've held records at my high school for over 20 years now. So I need to get those idiots to break my records. So this is what I do. This is what I love. In triathlon, I'm always one of the first out of the water. And then I get obliterated on the bike. Like my last race, I had a 4-minute lead off the swim, and I got eaten up within 8 miles on the bike. So, that's why I have my bike right behind me. So I'm on Zwift, on Twitch. So, if you see the Feral, #Team Zoot on Zwift, that's me. So that's it. That's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in, Team Zoot. I am so excited for 2023. I got a couple good races on the docket. My first race is going to be Pasadena Reverse. So if you are in the Southern California area, try the Pasadena Reverse Triathlon. It's a great, second weekend of March. If you're already doing Bayshore, do Bayshore. But if you can't do Bayshore, do Pasadena, because they're on the same day, and I'm really sad because I love Bayshore. But unfortunately, they're on the same day, and my kids do Pasadena, so I can't do Bayshore and my kids be in Pasadena. My wife would murder me. So that's why I'm doing Pasadena Reverse. So that's it for me. So any questions at all, email me. If you want to do an in-person stroke technique lesson, email me. If you live in the Los Angeles, Northern OC or Northern San Diego County area, and you're willing to drive to Eastern LA County, shoot me an email. We'll work something out. I know I can get some time in my local pool. I would love more than anything to be able to help you get faster in the pool. So for Feral Swim Tech, a place where we swim smarter and harder because we're smarter. That's my new tagline. Let me know if it's good. So for us here at Feral Swim Tech, thank you all so much for tuning in. And until later, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.